Greetings, 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 greetings. What's going on, good people? How y'all doing out there? Um, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we talked. It's been a minute since we had a chance uh to run it. I'm currently out of the state right now. So I'm bringing you greetings from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm at work right now, so yeah, I'm up north. It's cold. It's cold up here. Um, but look, man, I took a little break, right? Um, I took a little break. Me and the CEO, the executive producer, we had a talk, and I was just telling him like I just felt burnt out. Like I felt like I was giving from a place that was empty. Um, I was pouring from a cup that wasn't full. Um, and you know how the more you try to force yourself, the more you try to push yourself, it's like you get to that point to where you just running on fumes. Like you literally don't have it. Like you're exhausted. And a lot of times we misequate things like, oh, I'm tired, I need sleep, or we even misjudge stress for like being hungry. We try to fill those voids with different things and not really understanding what we're dealing with. So a lot of times it's stress, it's spiritual anxiety, it's spiritual wear and tear that we're having, and so many times we have things that we take. We have medicine that we take for a headache. We have medicine that we take for body pains, for arthritis, for everything, stress. It's something that we do. It's something that a remedy that's there for any ailment or problem that we may have. But what is the remedy? What is the cure? What is the revival that we need when it comes to our spiritual health? Um, and I think in order for somebody to be um, vocal on something, they need to be experienced in it. So I believe in order for me to be able to tell you all, whoever this may reach, in order for me to be able to tell you things, it's good that I experience them. I don't want to get on here fabricating anything. I can only be me. I can only, keep it 100 with you. I got to give it to you real. If I can't give it to you real, I'm not going to give it to you at all. So a lot of times, when I feel myself, because I don't want to have do anything, right? And a lot of times when you're put on assignment for stuff, we get into just a religious routine, like to where we just do it because we got to do it. We lose our passion. We lose our that get up and go that we had when it was new. You know what I'm saying? That how it is when you first get something or when you first meet that partner, and y'all do y'all stand up all night, y'all talking on the phone, the conversation good, and after a few years, it kind of wears off. That honeymoon stage kind of goes away, and then it's like, I ain't just all that happy to see you like I was, what I'm saying, before. Now you kind of get on my nerves. Now I know your feet stink. Now I know some things about you that I didn't know before. So now the real is showing, and that's a lot of times what happens is um, we fall in love with that beginning, you know what I'm saying? But when it's time for the process, when it's time to go through things, that's when we tend to drift away. That's when we tend to get disinterested. That's when our passion tends to stop. And I found myself in that area. When it was new, it was cool. Like I was excited about. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have my podcast. And, I'm gonna be able to reach people. Yeah, man, it's great. But being distracted, right? Being distracted, and um, your mind goes out to other things, and you get to looking at what's going on around you, and you get to listening to what people have to say, and it throws you off. You know what I'm saying? You're not able to really hear what God has to say because you are focusing on what's going on around you. You know, one of the references I commonly make is Peter, and a lot of times, guys, well, man, why you always talking about? Because Peter was a disciple I feel like I could relate to, because simply Peter loved Jesus, but Peter still was a fool too. You know what I'm saying? He loved God. He was a ride or die, but he still had some issues, and he denied God. It was 3 times. You know what I'm saying? That he denied God. And I was like, man, how can you be with God all this time and walk with him and see him do it and deny God? But then God put out, you do it too. You know what I'm saying? You do it too. You you by how you act sometimes, by the stuff you say, by the disobedience you show, you deny me too. So it all put things into perspective that none of us are perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like we all are fighting to live the best life according to what God wants us to do. That's what we should be doing. A lot of times we get ambitious and want to do what we want to do, but the ultimate purpose to our lives is to glorify God. That means whatever you want me to do, God, that's what I'm going to do. And ultimately, He wants us to be a light. He wants us to show love. He wants us to be there and be His hands and His feet on earth. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, I got distracted. I got to a point to where I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be dealing with it. I was almost irritated with the thought of having to do it every week, right? And and because it was like I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt like the feedback, I felt like uh, the interest in what I was doing wasn't uh, bringing me back the gratification that I thought it would, right? So it's like if you do something for somebody, right? You you give them a gift or you do an act of kindness, and they just kind of shrug it off like it ain't a big deal. And it's like you don't even know what it took for me to get, you know what I'm saying, to give you that or to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like you taking me for granted. And those feelings, those emotions, they tend to lead us down a dark road because, like I say, emotions, feelings are so fickle, funny, and fake. That's what my pastor would say. Uh, because you could be feeling one way 1 minute and then the next few minutes that's gone. So it was my fault for letting my emotions and my feelings and um, being concerned with what I was seeing, letting that consume me, right? Because it's like, God, if I'm doing this for you, you know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to reach people, if I'm trying to give God to people in his simplest form, uh, which is just being honest, being open and real with people. You know what I'm saying? Showing them like, hey, God ain't this God that just, want to punish you or looking down on you or think this and that about you. He loves you. You know what I'm saying? He hates to see, loves the sinner, but hates the sin. So whatever you may be caught up in, cool. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? God still loves you. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to come out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like our parents. When we do stuff, we done all did stuff, right? We done all did stuff that our parents were probably not proud of. I know I have. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean that because I did, oh well, my mama gave me up. You know what I'm saying? My mama gave me up, put me in foster care, said, hey, you're not my son no more. No, that never happened. You know what I'm saying? The same way with God. That's the way God, because God is sovereign. God is long suffering. You know what I'm saying? God knows that, it's a process. How can you, that's just like one of my favorite movies all time is Life. The movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, right? So I pretty much know the movie front to back, back to front. I know the parts. I know how it start. I know the middle part. I know how to end. That's the way God knows our life. He know the front, he know the middle, he know the end, right? So it's like, how can you disappoint God if he already know the end? You know what I'm saying? He already know your story. So a lot of people have this misconception that, okay, because of what I've done, because of where I've been, that God is disappointed in me, that God doesn't, I'm too far gone that I can't come back. I'm here to tell you, as a 29-year-old black young man, that yes, you can. I don't care. And this, like I said, I'm married now, but I've had two kids out of wedlock, right? God still say, hey, I need you to reach my people. I need you to preach my word. I need you to push the gospel. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, hey, hold up. Now I'm a music. I love music is my thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was good playing the drums. You know what I'm saying? Playing the drums, get my little check, and I'm out. Now I was like, nah. You know, I got a little bit more for you. It's more that I require of you. So it's like, man, I'm young. I got kids out of wedlock. I got sin that I'm struggling with. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out life as a man. As and here God is. Hey, I have work for you to do. And I'm telling God, I'm like Moses, God, I can't. You know, I'm not qualified for this. He said, I didn't call you because you were qualified. I'm equip you. You are already equipped with everything you need. You just don't know it. It's that untapped potential that's inside of you. But guess what? Guess what? What come with that is work. You know what I'm saying? What come and I used to once I stopped fighting it and once I accepted that okay, this is what my life is gonna be. I started to pray and ask God, like, God, look, help me, give me what I need, equip me with what I need to be able to help people. You know what I'm saying? Give me the anointing to where I come, I'm making a difference. You know, people, I'm an atmosphere shifter. That was stuff that I prayed for, bro, and not even knowing, like not having no real clue as to what I was asking for. I just knew I wanted to make an impact. You know what I'm saying? I want to make an impact on people's lives. I want to make an impact on the world. I want to make an impact on the kingdom. These are ambitions that I had years ago, not knowing how it would ever come about. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we take so much for granted, bro. Like we take so much for granted. We take the very breath that you're breathing right now, you take it for granted. Right? Because if somebody snuck up behind you right now and got to choke you'll fight. You gonna fight, scratch, and claw for that next breath because it's precious. It means something to you, and a lot of times we don't really grab hold of that. We don't really realize that until it's too late. Well, how you know, Q? Let me tell you, I buried two of my aunties in a span of what 2 months, couple months, right? So one my aunt Genevieve Montgomery, she was the one that was the first one to put a mic in my hand, saying Easter speeches, singing, handbells. You know what I'm saying? She was the one that got me started in church, right? All the way up. One of the best Sunday school teachers ever. She the one laid the foundation, along with my parent, but in the church, she was the one that laid that foundation. And you take it for granted, right? She's gone now. I can never call her and say thank you, AB. Thank you for laying that foundation. She's gone now. And I didn't get the chance to tell her, thank you. I appreciate you. You shaped this foundation. You started this. I can't tell her that now because she's gone. Yeah, I can go out there and talk to a headstone but that's not her. She's gone. She's gone. Okay. Boom. Lose her. Turn right around, lose my mom's baby sisters, my Aunt Sparkle. Now this my girl. You know what I'm saying? Going on. I thought she was the coolest woman in the world. I always had a fly ride. I always, dressing this, dressing this. She was cool. You know what I'm saying? And along the way, we kind of bump heads on some issues. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, strain the relationship. You know what I'm saying? But looking at it in hindsight, it was like, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? Because now she's here and I can't go sit and talk to her. I can't, listen to her tell me, how proud she is and what plans she had. I don't have that luxury anymore. because they're both gone. They're both gone. To be out here at work today and to have one of my coworkers drop dead, just drop with no life in him, no pulse, no nothing. And I'm sitting here doing CPR, boom, 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 doing CPR, and in my mind I'm praying, you know, like God, like this person just dropped, and you still think. You still think you got time? You still think you got time to hold grudges? You still think you got time to be beefed out with family members? You still think you got time to be carrying on with foolishness, living and doing any kind of way? You still think you got that kind of time? No, 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 ma'am, no, sir, you don't. You better look, not just don't just love. I love who love me. No, that's not what God commanded us to do. He commanded us to love each other as you love yourself. That means I got to love people that I know don't like me. Oh my God. And I struggle with that so much because of one of the other things that I prayed and asked God for during that time. And like I say, not even really fully understanding what I'm asking for. I asked God for such a strong spirit of discernment to where I'll be able to know. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to discern people, um, places, and things, right? So I'll be able to know. I can feel your spirit. I know you don't care for me, right? You can come hug my neck. You can come say I love you. You can come all of this, but I know you don't care for me because people can put on so many different masks, right? People can people can camouflage this stuff so good, and the devil is so cunning and conniving that he deceives them in thinking that they hide it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like it's just like you play hide and go seek. It ain't nobody close their eye when they count. I see you. You know what I'm saying? I see you. I see what you got going on. I discern that you don't care for me. But guess what? I love you. You know what I'm saying? In any way that I can help you, that's what I'm going to do. That's what we have to be about. I know. Look, it's not easy, right? And I know sometimes this walk has us feeling foolish sometimes to where it's like I'm always the one apologizing, or I'm always the one that gotta bite my tongue. But it is a sacrificial walk. Walking this walk it ain't full of self edifying benefits. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of stuff that you gonna always feel like the big, you know what I'm saying, big and bad about. A lot of time you gonna feel played. If I'm just being real with you, especially starting out, a lot of times you're gonna feel played. You're gonna feel like, hey man, these folks playing on my top. They playing in my face. Or I should really just add out. I should take it there. That's how you gonna feel. I'm gonna tell you that because guess what? Guess who still struggle with it sometimes? Him, me. I still have a hard time sometimes. But I've gotten better because I've grown not just within myself, but in God. You know what I'm saying? And I've had to, like when stuff happens, right? Because it's like people when you trying to do good. I think it was the Apostle Paul that said, every time I desire to do good, evil is always present. Which he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. Look, the devil know. The devil see you growing. The devil see you working out and getting you, getting yourself together, working on your attitude. He see that. And he don't want that. So guess what he gotta do? He gotta send his imps. He gotta send little things to attack you. And I told y'all this a little while ago. The devil is confined to nouns, people, places, or things. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna attack you within those three: people, places, or things. You know what I'm saying? So it's being mindful. The Bible tells us to not be ignorant of his devices. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if you want to fight. A lot of times, look, you can't go in there blind. You gotta know Joe kind of big. I ain't gonna let him grab me. Or he like to do this. I just seen him do this, so I'm gonna watch this. It's knowing. And how do you know? You study. You get around like-minded individuals that can give you the game, give you God in a way that you can understand it and apply it to your life. Because you'll be surprised, bro. And the more I'm talking to people and the more that I'm listening, a lot of people go to church and that's all they do, right? So, and that's not knocking the people that show the effort and go to church, right? But I've heard it so many times that they go to church and then they don't even understand what's being said, right? And that's cool. I don't care how young or old you are. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because the language in like I said, a lot of churches you go to read from the King James version, which the language is different from what we read, with what we speak now. So, but they have on the Bible app. They did have different translations in the Bible app, um, to where it breaks it down to into more modern day terms. Um, but a lot of times people just go and they don't really, get what's being taught. So it's like the preacher throwing something out there and it just get, it fall on, bare ground. You know what I'm saying? So if you are having a hard time struggling with understanding scriptures, understanding what's being said, it's nothing wrong with reaching out and letting somebody know. I'm not saying it has to be me, but uh, if you want to reach out to me, that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. We can talk about it, and I can break it down, however you need it to where you can understand it, right? But don't waste any more time, because a lot of times I'm learning now, in this industry, in this industry that I'm in now, is that a lot of people won't ask questions because they don't want people to look at them a certain way, right? They don't want people to look at them a certain way, and that only hurts the person because if we all trying to get somebody here and you just standing back because I don't want nobody, you know what I'm saying, think I'm slow or whatever, and you just don't get nothing. Well, who losing in that? You know what I'm saying? You might as well get something for your time while you're here. You might as well. A lot of times church is not always the setting to get there. That's why you attend your Bible studies. That's why you tune into podcasts like these. There's other ones out there that talk more in layman terms. That the way you could get it right. So like I say, it don't feel bad about having to ask a question about something that you may be lacking understanding in. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Um, a lot of times I hear preachers say it be a $20 word with a 50-cent meaning. So a lot of people do it for you know the oohs and the ahs and want people who he studied. But what do all that mean if the sheep not getting fed? That's all I'm saying. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just saying what I'm saying. You feel me? That's all. That's all. So look, I'm understanding, man, and I am viewing life through a different lens, right? Um, to see death be in my family, um, the way that it has been over these past few months is mind blowing, and it's an eye opener. Um, Even before we start experiencing death in our family, God had just been pressing me about time. Like you don't have the time. You don't have the time to hold grudges, right? So I learned so much from my wife, and she don't even know it. But I learned so much from my wife because it's like this woman. I be telling God, I'm like, God, you gave me her to test me. Like you did this to test me. Like you really trying to get something out of me by helping me deal with this woman because she puts my everything to the test. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know other men can relate, but bro, she puts it to the test, and it's like I learned so much about myself, you know, when I want to be mad, when I want to not talk to her. And God would always, He always tells me this: do I treat you that way? So even when I want to be mad at her and I want to tell her, get yourself together, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I do tell her, get herself together, but it's in a loving manner. You know what I'm saying? It's never disrespectful. It's never to tear her down. It's in a way to where God will be pleased, you know. Um, it's in a way that God will be pleased because a lot of times we do the right things with the wrong intentions. So it is like you know, you say something, you know, and it might be true at that time, but your intentions are wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it might be okay. You might need to tell, you know, hey, get it together, but you come off harsh. You know what I'm saying? Because you're speaking not from a place of love, but from a place of frustration. You know, so I'm always mindful when I deal with her to be patient, right? And as irritated as I might be okay, babe. Yes, ma'am. Are you okay? Is there anything you need from me? You need me, you know, want me to stay in here with you? What do you need from me? Even though in my mind, like, oh, I ought to choke slam. Well, I really want to do something to you. You know, and you be thinking that, right? You like, you're crazy. Something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to show love, and being the man, you have to be um that tone setter in the house. You know what I'm saying? You have to be when things you might walk in and things chaotic. You have to be because God put you in charge. You have to be able to be the one to call everything to order. You know what I'm saying? It should be a sense of security and order when dad comes home. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have a woman that is willing to first um, be submissive and understand her role in. And I'm not one of those guys to, you know, you believe a woman supposed to be bare feet and pregnant. I'm not one of them. But it's understanding her role in the order that God gave. Meaning, you know, you submit to me, I submit to you. Right? Meaning I'm not a dictator in my house, right? So um uh a lot of times it's not what I say goes. Now my wife know I don't say much, but when I say what I need to say, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not to where, oh, this my house is gonna go my way. Nah, nah. You know, show respect, show love. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn your partner, learn your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Take time out with them. No, so many times we get so consumed with life. We get so consumed with the mundane routine of work and paying bills, being mama, dad. We get so consumed with that stuff that we lose ourselves. And not realizing we have an individual that needs us right there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be more intent. And this is all the stuff that I'm learning since I've been gone, y'all. You have to be more intentional on loving on your significant other. You know, show them that you know they're special to you, that you love them, that you appreciate them, whatever they may do, big or small. Show that appreciation because what's gonna happen when you can't? What's gonna happen when you can't? What's gonna happen when you roll over in that bed and they ain't there no more? And it ain't just because they gone to work. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind when you think about having that attitude, or when you think about not talking to them for a day, for a week. Keep that in mind because we take it for granted. Being able to walk out that door, get in them vehicles, go to work my 8, 12 hours, and come back home. We just take that for granted. I told my wife, I caught 2 planes to get up here. Caught 2 planes. Man, look, that plane took off and got to doing this here in the air. I said, "Oh Lord, ain't no barriers or no bumpers up here, Lord." And look, I first down my wife, my kids, my people. I'm like, Lord, not like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to get into those instances, or we put like Well, where we gonna go? I ain't got no wings. I like chicken wings, but I ain't got no wings. I can't fly this thing go down. You know, man, look, hey, no, Lord, not like this. Not like this. Look, let Lord correct it. Ease the winds up here so we can get where we going. You know? But like I say, you have to be more intentional on showing your people that, hey, I love you. Man, look, hey, I love you. You get on my nerves, but I love you. I thank God for your life because life is precious. It's precious, and it's so undervalued. It's so undervalued. You know, every day we get on social media, you see people that got out of here. People gone. People are leaving. People being killed. People, man, when people uh uh unalive other people, it's like it's getting to a point, especially like where I'm from, like a few minutes up the road, like they unaliving people like it ain't nothing, like it's different. Like y'all just killing people to be like you shoot water gun, whoop whoop, see, and hey, it ain't no big deal. This person dead. Somebody lost a brother, a son, a nephew, a niece, a daughter. You know, kids gotta grow up without a mama or daddy. It has become too common, and it's crazy that it has almost become the norm. It has almost become the norm to where you see it and you become numb to it. It should not be like that. It should not. There's no way that death, murder, chaos, sin becomes the norm. And then it is so much other foolishness gets put out there, gets glorified, gets the attention, gets the feed. You know what I'm saying? People feed into that, but if you come try to tell them something that's gonna help their life, don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. But it's gonna come a point in time, right? It's gonna come a point in time. Well, every man gonna have to answer for it. Every man, woman, boy, everybody gonna have to answer for themselves. You know what I'm saying? The goal should be when I leave here, I want to leave here having made a positive impact on this world, on my family, on my wife, on my kids, making my mom, my dad, my people proud to say that I was their son. You know, I want to do that. Because so many times, like, you don't think about the people that you affect when you do and say certain things. You don't think about that. Okay, I have a legacy coming up behind me. I have two kids, my babies. They're coming up behind me. A lot of times, them kids, they gonna be known by Q, your daddy. What they gonna have good. What they gonna have to say about Q? Of course you're gonna have some haters. You know, that's just a part of life. Look, I've learned. Look, you gotta be good with that. I thank you. I need haters. Why do you need haters, Q? I need haters because God said, yeah, He will prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. That means it's gonna be some folks that's gonna have to watch me be blessed. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some folks right in close proximity. Right? So that's another thing about enemy. A lot of times our hurt and our pain it ain't came from strangers. It hasn't come from people that we didn't know. It ain't came from people that know us, close to us, that know some of our secrets. They know that what we done been through. That's where it come from. But that's cool. Because guess what? The table's still being made. God's still preparing. And you gonna have everything you said about me, every ill word you spoke about me, every screenshot of my post that you did, every conversation that you done had about me, every joke about me behind my back, you gonna have to deal with it. You gonna have to deal because all you did was you made me better. You pushed me to this. If it had not been for you, I wouldn't realize how strong I am. I wouldn't push, I wouldn't pray the way that I do. I wouldn't prepare the way that I do. I wouldn't try to be better every day the way that I do. Knowing that I got hellhounds on my heels, that's what pushed me. That's what pushed me because I gotta be the covering for my family. I gotta be the light that someone sees. You know what I'm saying? Through these podcasts, through Facebook, through personal interaction. I gotta be there because God called me to it. You gotta be there. Don't think because God ain't called you to preach that you cannot make an impact somewhere. I don't care where you at, what kind of job you working. You can be a light right where you are. You can be a light right where you are. It's all about you. It's all about your character. It's all about how you carry yourself. What are you saying? What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Because people don't believe this. And I didn't really believe it either, but spirits have a way of attaching themselves through you, through what? People, places, or things. So a lot of times, and you don't even realize it, right? You listen to a certain a song or something, you have a certain conversation, or you go a certain place, and then all of a sudden your mood changes. You're like, oh, what's wrong with me? The spirit that jumped on you. You know what I'm saying? A spirit that jumped on you, got you feeling a certain type of way. You don't know where it came from or why it's bothering you. Certain conversations you have with people, you just get off the phone, you be tired, like, oh, man, what happened? Man, the spirit that came through that ear hole, and it's on you, it's riding you now. You dealing with that because you have allowed yourself to be an emotional dumping ground. Sometimes, look, and I'm not telling you not to help nobody when you can, right? But sometimes you have to point people towards God. Not just sometimes, all the time. All the time, you have to point people towards God because so many times I put my cape on and God ain't called me to put on no cape. So, and a lot of times I did more harm than I did good. Why do you say that, Q? I'm going to tell you, give me a minute. So, a lot of times I put that cape on. People will call with problems and boom. Okay, look, this is what you need to do, and this, and this, and I'm here for you, whatever you need. God ain't called me to be God to nobody. He called me to be a vessel. What happens with vessels? Stuff flows through me. So, and what does that mean? I have to, okay, it flows through me, but what is flowing through me should point you to Him because He the only one that can handle your problems. He the only one that has the answer. He's the only one that can heal you. Yes, I can give you a word. I can encourage you, but baby, I'm human. I'm flesh. I am not Jesus Christ reincarnated. So my power is limited in me, but through Him is, I can do all things, right? But ultimately, why would you deal with the middleman when you can get to the man, right? So don't always look for people, individuals. Yes, He has put us here to be, the spokesperson and, to be the contact, but you can go to God for yourself. And if you need help with, understanding how to get there, that's where people like myself come in. And we can help, we can talk you, we can walk you through it and help you understand what's going on. But don't get so caught because a lot of time people have saying, they experience church hurt. You ain't experienced so much experience church hurt. You went to the church and got hurt, but it wasn't the church that hurt you, it was people. People hurt you, people disappointed you, people let you down, people talked about you, people spread rumors about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like don't misconstrue the church with people. Because you got them type, I don't care what church you go to. You got the messing folks everywhere. You got them gossipers, you got them liars, you got them folks that feel like it's their church. You got them every church you go to. I don't care, white, black, Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, Pentecostal, Kojic. They everywhere. You can't run from that. And you can't keep missing God. You can't keep missing what God trying to get to you. I'ma just watch TV from my I'ma just watch church from my phone. Look here, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. You need to get your behind up off that couch and get in somebody's sanctuary. So you can have a real encounter with God. God not finna come get in that little funky bed with you. Go to somebody's church. Give God a chance. You keep giving these folks a chance, these little nappy head folks and nappy head women. You keep giving them a chance. You ain't gave up on them yet. Shoot. Y'all be making me mad, man. I be with a weird attitude because I hate to see don't waste life. Don't waste life. Don't waste the precious breaths that you take every day, man. Go out here and do something. Go get help. Go talk to somebody. Connect with people. You can't make it in this world by yourself. And everybody that done got it in your mind, I'm good on it. Look, that ain't what it's about. You can't make it in this world by yourself. I don't care how strong you think you are. I don't care how long your money is and I'm good by. Everybody needs somebody at some point. Jesus understood that from the beginning of time with Adam and Eve. And he told Adam, he said, hey man, it ain't good for you to be out here by yourself. I'm gonna give you somebody. So if you understand what makes it any difference now? Because a lot of time when I was weak, I ain't just hear from God when I was by myself. It was people that I encountered. It was people that I was around that would say, "Hey man, keep going. Hey man, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good, and God see you. God understand this and that." It was people that poured into me when I needed it. Now you like, I ain't got nobody. Well, you might need to check your circle. If you don't have anybody that all your friends want to do is party or hang out, smoke dope, or and you trying to do something better, you might have to. That's not to say, oh well, forget them or nothing. But if my life is progressing in a different direction, I have to leave you gracefully. I love you, and I love you, but I just can't be around you because what you're doing is not benefiting my life. I can't get to where I'm going because I keep going over here, dipping back here when God is clearly calling me to something else. So many people have missed uh, a move of God because they wouldn't let go of something that God was trying to detach from. Well, if it's for me, it's for me. No, yeah, it's true. It's true, right? Yeah, that's true. If whatever God got for it is for you, but you can forfeit that. You cannot be in place for what God has for you, and it miss you. Well, if it missed me, it wasn't for. Yes, it was. You just wasn't in place for it. The package was there. You just didn't go pick it up. You wasn't in where you needed to be for God to get what He had for you because He's telling you, He's showing you who you need to disconnect from, who you need to uh, 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 stop conversing with. He's showing you people. He's showing you, oh, this person mess, or every time this person going on something around this going on. He's showing you all of this. Every time you run, you getting a headache or you feeling some type of way, or every time you go with some good news to this person, they got something negative to say. They find something negative in it. He show you all the little subtle signs. And what I always tell people, God is a gentleman. He don't force himself nowhere. And he's so smooth. And because you get to a point to where he show you all this little stuff, right? And then you get to a point to where when you look back, when you be to went through some things, and in hindsight, you start to look back, you be like, God, you showed me the whole time. And not only did you show me, you protected me through it all. So even when you felt like you were by yourself, even when you felt like you ain't have, look, you didn't have nothing or nobody, he was there. He saw you through it all. You know what I'm saying? Even when you felt like the closest of the people you couldn't depend on, he was there. He been there. He never left. And that's what I want to reassure. Look, you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. I know it may feel lonely. I know you may cry sometimes. I know it may be hard. I know you might wrestle in your mind, in your mental with yourself. And a lot of times, the Bible says that no weapon formed against us, me, you, will prosper. But what happens when you the weapon? What happens when you the weapon? Yeah. I'm, I'm, I'm just saying, you meditate on that, put that in your pipe and smoke it. What happened when you the weapon? What happened when you the weapon that's forming? Because a lot of times our biggest enemy is who we look at every day in that mirror. That's the weapon. Because a lot of times we won't let God be God, right? We don't let God be God. We put ourselves in situations because we all want to be there for folks and do the. But sometimes you gotta say, okay, God, look, I'm gonna let you do what you do. Any way that I can help and be of service, I will. But I'm not gonna overextend myself and then turn around and be looking crazy when it's like I'm depleted. I don't have nothing to give no more. Because a lot of times God didn't call us to that. We be putting on that cape and going to super save folks, and God don't be the call us to that. That's why you exhausted because you fighting a fight that ain't yours. You want stuff for people that they don't want for themselves. You pushing people towards something that they fight you. It's easy to push somebody that ain't giving you no resistance. But have you ever tried to carry dead weight or tried to push somebody that was fighting you? It's exhausting. That's why you bumps and bruises and you're tired and you're hurt and people. That's why the battle is not yours. It's not. It's not yours. It's not mine. And this is a lesson that it took me a long time to learn. I don't want it to take y'all along. I told y'all I go through things to be able to give to y'all to stop the cycle. It does not take it. No, 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 ma'am, no, sir. You do not have to keep going through things. You do not have to keep experiencing that hurt, that depression, that sadness, that empty feeling that you don't know how to feel it. You don't have to keep dealing with that. Why you say that, Q? Because I've been there. I've done it. That was a song back then. I've been there. Yeah. Yeah. Been there, done it. You don't have to deal with it. You can be free. You can live a life that is um that you have joy, not so much happiness, because happiness is fleeting. You can be happy one day and sad the next, but joy, no matter, I can be with tears down my eyes. Like I miss my aunties, right? I miss them, and there's so much stuff I want to say to them, but the joy is that I know that they lived the best life that they could. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember the good times that they had, and I know they love God. That's the joy that I have, that I can't just sit around and be depressed, because I know that they love God. And I know they did what they could to leave a positive impact before they got out of here. Right. So, like, we have to grow up. You know what I'm saying? We have to grow up. We have to take some accountability for our actions and realize that we are the reason that we are in some of the positions that we're in. And that's just part of being a grown up, regardless of not even getting super deep, but regardless of your Christian walk or whatever, we have to, before I can get you all Before we can get you all saved and dipped in oil and all of that stuff, we got to get you healed first. We got to get you healed and whole first. That way you are open to receive what God wants to pour in you. A lot of times things don't last a long time because we come to the church hurt and we get hurt when we get there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a double-edged sword. I'm already hurt, and then when I get here, I get hurt again. So my goal is to have more people be healed and whole so that they can receive what God wants to get to them, you know? And it takes work on both ends, but, the individual has to put in work. You have to be in a position to where you want to be the best you possible. We don't have time that once was is not anymore. It's not. It's not. So you don't have, well, I'm going to do it next year. I'm going to do it in a few months. Who's to say you'll be here? Who's to say I will be here? Take each and every day. Live every day like it's your last. Take no thought for tomorrow, true enough. But live every day like it's your last. So a lot of times I saw a movie on this, and this guy knew that, um, he was getting ready to die. So his whole outlook on life changed. So he was doing as many good deeds as he can do. Boom, boom. Everything he could do. He was being super nice. He was treating his kids. He was treating his wife because he thought he was going to die. You should live every day. Not just to say that every day gonna be sunshine and butterflies and rainbows and no. But even in the bad days, it's still something to be grateful about because if you look around, if you look around and you don't even have to go far. Um, Mike Epps made a joke and he said it like this that they were all getting ready to go meet God or whatever. And when they got there to meet God, he told them, he said, bring all your problems to me and put them down right here. So everybody brought their problems to him, and sat them down. So he said, God said, okay, all right. He said, now pick them. Everybody, close your eye, pick your stuff up. And so guy reached out and picked the stuff up, and put it on, put your problem back on. And, and he went from being, a guy that was in good health to a guy that was crippled, walking all crazy. And he said that to say this. You don't even really, you think you got it bad. It's somebody else got it way worse than you. It's somebody else that would take your bad day any day over what they got going. Your bad day look like paradise to them. So it's always being thankful that God, I may be going through a hard time. I may feel like this is a hard time right now, God, but I'm grateful. I'm thankful because I know things could always be worse, and I know that storms don't last; they pass. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going through is not happening to me; it's happening for me. All things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and that are called to His purpose. So that hold on to that. Keep reminding yourself of that. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. This life is a workout. And one thing I know, and some of you may know something, working out ain't fun. It's tough. You're actually um tearing you're actually tearing your body down so that later on it can build up and come back stronger. That's what this walk is. You know? That's what life is. We pilgrims passing through. So we're gonna go through something. The Bible tells us man born of a woman is more of a few days, but full of trouble. You know, many other afflictions of the righteous, but God shall. He gonna deliver us from them all. He has delivered us from them all. We just have to see it through. Like the little meme say, you gotta see it through, dog. And that's you gotta see it through. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep doing the best that you can. It's all gonna pay off. It may not seem like it, may not feel like, and that's coming from somebody. I was just telling my wife, like, babe, I'm tired. It's like you get to a point to where, like, Lord, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of seeming like struggling or going through things or being in a place to where I just don't, like, I'm tired. But you get to a point where you had your moment and you say, but God, I trust you. You had your moments. I'm not telling nobody not to have their moments. Have your moments. They're necessary. Emotions are real. Feelings are real. God gave them to us for a reason. We wouldn't be humans if we didn't need them. He wants us to feel. He wants us to go through emotions. That's okay. But only for a while. Only for a little bit. Don't let it drown you. Don't let it sink you into a depression. Don't let it have you thinking suicidal thoughts. Don't. No. Keep your mind stayed on Him. He will keep you in perfect. He will keep you in perfect peace. What is perfect peace? That doesn't mean perfect peace. Does not mean the absence of problems. It does not mean that. That means like when Peter stepped out on that water, walking to Jesus. It was a storm. Perfect peace is that he had that tunnel vision. Though even hell could be raging around me, but God, I'm gonna keep my eyes on you. That's what perfect peace is, and that's what we all adapt the Peter mindset. God, I'm gonna keep my eyes on you. No matter what goes on, no matter who say what, because your partner's in the ship talking crazy. Look at this fool. Hey boy, get back here. He just stupid. Look at him, old fool. They talking crazy. The storm, life, and you know what I'm saying? Everything going crazy. But look, I'm gonna keep my eyes on you. And what happens? It's the same thing that happened to Peter. When we start to take our eyes off of God, Jesus, we start to sink. We start to drown. You know what I'm saying? But what happens? God comes, oh, ye a little faith. He look, come on. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Peace, be still. You know what I'm saying? So don't allow what's going on around you to consume you. Don't allow that, right? You gotta keep the main thing the main thing, and God is the main thing. Stay focused, stay prayed up, establish a prayer life, and it don't have to be super deep, man. I'm so I'm so done with the theatrics in the church that because God is not all the extra stuff, man. God wants sincerity. God wants the real. You know what I'm saying? God wants to hear from you. A lot of times, the Bible tells us the very elite are going to be fools. So the ones you think that got it all together, and you know, they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it in because so many have been lost to pride. That's what God was telling me. So many men and women of God is preaching every Sunday. There's churching every Sunday, preaching all over the country. They are lost. They are the working unemployed. Meaning God allows you, they gonna allow you to keep your church, gonna allow you to funnel people of God through your church, through your ministry. And then when it's all said and done, depart from me. For I never knew you. You're a worker of iniquity. I never. And you're like, God, didn't I, cast out spirits? Didn't I do this? Yeah. I don't want to be in that number. And that's why I always, bro. And I, if I'm not gonna ever get on here or on anybody platform and spew hatred. So if I feel my heart ain't right and I know I'm feeling some type of way about a thing, I'll keep my mouth closed because it's dangerous. It's dangerous the fine line that people teeter totter on when trying to be speak God and witchcraft. You got so many folks casting spells on folks, playing witchcraft over the pulpit, like it's cool. No. So look, man, it was good. It was good getting back um to our routine um and sharing with you all. Look, I want to find a way, and that's something me and Ely, the producer, we'll talk about. I want this to be more interactive. Want to be able to see, some comments and stuff like that, so I can see, what y'all are having to say, what you all may be dealing with, some things you may want to talk about. Um, but like I say again, keep God first. Stay prayed up. Storms don't last; they pass. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. All things work together. All is well. Look, until the next time, your boy, your nephew, we out.